this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 bringing to you another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. And today I wanted to discuss and share my thoughts with all of you about the shocking events that took place on night one at WrestleMania 41 involving the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman betraying both CM Punk and Roman Reigns to align himself with Seth Rollins, and whether or not this was the favour that Seth Rollins was referring to on Raw. So, throughout this whole build up, we have seen Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns at each other's throats, and Paul Heyman has been right in the middle of this entire situation. And it looked like that CM Punk had Paul Heyman in his corner, which Paul Heyman did promise him many years ago that when you main event WrestleMania, I will be in your corner. So it seemingly looked like Paul Heyman had turned his back on his tribal chief, Roman Reigns. But Paul Heyman still remained loyal to Roman Reigns, even though Roman Reigns wasn't happy about the fact that Paul Heyman was now with CM Punk. And Seth Rollins, he's kind of been like the wild card in this whole situation. He has been very brutally honest about his thoughts and his opinions on this whole situation, and even going as far as to tell some very forward home truths to Paul Heyman. So the question for me going into this triple threat match was, whose side is Paul Heyman on? Roman Reigns, his tribal chief, his best friend, CM Punk, or would he shock the entire world and go with Seth Rollins? This match was very hard for me to be invested in because there was nothing on the line. You know, it would have been more acceptable if the winner would get a title match later down the road. Or even put something like a stipulation winner gets Paul Heyman's services, because this is kind of what it's been about. There was nothing on the line, but this match was really good. There was a lot of emotion, there was a lot of drama, and it was a very tough call to make about who could win this match. So CM Punk got low blowed by Paul Heyman, and then just when it looked like he was going to stay loyal to his tribal chief, Roman Reigns ended up getting low blowed as well, handing the chair to Seth Rollins, allowing him to not only pick up the victory, but now turning heel and aligning himself with Paul Heyman. So this was a shocking outcome because Seth Rollins did say before that now you owe me a favor. So is this what the favor that Rollins was referring to? Take me on as your Paul Heyman guy. I have you as my manager. You drop both of those guys. This was a shocking moment. And, you know, CM Punk should have seen this coming. He's been betrayed before. Remember 2013 when Paul Heyman turned on CM Punk and stayed loyal to Brock Lesnar? And of course, you know, Paul Heyman has had a history of betraying his clients. CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, just to name a few. So this betrayal shouldn't have come as much of a surprise to CM Punk. I think Roman Reigns getting stabbed in the back is more of a shock because Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, they have been working together for almost 5 years, ever since 2020. And, you know, he's been a huge advocate, no pun intended, for Roman Reigns' entire heel run, you know, with the bloodline, you know, him being Roman Reigns' wise man, all that stuff. Even going as far as turning on Brock Lesnar and staying loyal to Roman Reigns. And now for Paul Heyman to align himself with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns' former Shield ally slash hated enemy. It's got to be a real kick in the guts for Roman Reigns, because you have to feel a little bit sad for Roman Reigns, because everybody, apart from Dean Ambrose, has betrayed him. Some of it Roman Reigns brought on himself, but for the most part, he has been stabbed in the back. Now, where does Roman Reigns as a character go from here? Because for the first time since the breakup of the Shield and post Shield breakup, Roman Reigns is on his own. So it's going to be very interesting what happens going forward for Roman Reigns. CM Punk, on the other hand, he's coming for blood. He's coming for retribution. He's not going to sit idly by and take this. No way. He's coming for blood. What happens next? Raw is going to be a hell of a fireworks show, to say the very least, and I can't wait. But I kind of saw this coming. I knew Seth Rollins would win this match. I knew he would turn heel and join forces with Paul Heyman, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the explanation as to why this has happened. So, anyway, I am going to wrap this up now. What did you guys think about Seth Rollins winning this triple threat match with Paul Heyman's help? Were you shocked? Were you more shocked that Paul Heyman betrayed both Roman Reigns and CM Punk? What do you think his reasons were for these actions? Do you think we'll get an explanation as to why? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Wrestling Discussion Series. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.